Recap the key points discussed, emphasizing the importance of recognizing potential in small changes and investments. 1974. This tiny piece of history might look like just another penny, but trust us, there's much more to it than meets the eye. Stick with us through this video, because by the end, we'll reveal just how valuable this seemingly ordinary coin really is. The 1974 1-cent coin has an intriguing history and a unique place in the world of numismatics. Produced by the United States Mint, this penny was made during an important era for the U.S. economy. The 1970s were a time of economic challenges, including inflation and the beginning of the dollar's devaluation. In the midst of all this, the U.S. Mint continued to produce 1-cent coins, which were heavily used in day-to-day transactions. At first glance, the 1974 penny seems like just another low-value coin. But when you take a closer look, you'll begin to understand why this little coin has garnered such attention from collectors. Now, let's dive into the specifics of the 1974 1-cent coin and why it's become such a hot item in the world of coin collecting. To start, the design on this coin may seem familiar. The obverse side features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, which has been a staple of U.S. pennies since 1909. The reverse side shows the classic image of the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of American history and patriotism. These familiar features are one reason the coin is so beloved by collectors, but there's much more to it than just the design. Let's get into the rarity of the 1974 1-cent coin. While the penny was produced in large numbers, it's not the sheer number that makes this coin valuable, it's the condition and the unique characteristics that make it stand out. As we all know, most pennies are circulated extensively. They are dropped, picked up, handled, and often end up worn and battered from years of use. But a 1974 1-cent coin in pristine, uncirculated condition is a rarity. If you happen to find one of these coins in near perfect or mint condition, you could be holding on to a true treasure. So, what is it about the 1974 1-cent coin that makes it so special? For starters, there are some key variations and errors that collectors have become obsessed with. The first major error you might encounter with this coin is the famous double die variety. What does this mean? Essentially, it refers to a minting error where the coin's design appears to be doubled, which can be seen clearly in the date, the letters, or the numbers. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin malfunctions, causing the image to be stamped more than once. This can create a striking effect where the coin looks like it has a ghost image of its design. These types of errors are incredibly rare, and they make the coin much more valuable than a standard 1974 penny die. In addition to the double die error, there's another variation that collectors are on the lookout for: the small date versus large date varieties. These two types of 1974 pennies can be distinguished by the size of the numbers in the date on the coin. The small date variety features smaller numbers, while the large date variety has numbers that are larger and more spaced out. While both varieties are common, finding a 1974 small date penny in exceptional condition is a great find for collectors. It's these little details, these subtle differences, that can dramatically increase the coin's value. But the real magic of the 1974 1-cent coin doesn't just lie in its errors and variations, it's also in its historical significance. The 1974 penny was produced during a transitional period in American currency, a time when the U.S. government was adjusting to new economic realities. In fact, by the mid-1970s, the U.S. Mint was exploring ways to reduce the cost of producing coins, leading to the decision to use copper-plated zinc for the 1-cent coin, rather than pure copper. This shift in materials would affect future coins, making the 1974 penny an interesting example of this period of experimentation. Now, let's talk about how much this coin is worth. You may be wondering, how much could a simple penny from 1974 really be worth? Well, hold on tight, because the answer might surprise you. While most of the 1974 pennies are worth just 1 cent, if you happen to own a 1974 1-cent coin in exceptional condition, especially one with a rare minting error or a unique variation, it could be worth far more than you think. The value can range from a few dollars to several $1,000s, depending on the rarity and condition. But here's the kicker: if you happen to have a rare 1974 double die error or a particularly pristine example of the 1974 small date, it could be worth an astounding $26,000. That's right, $26,000. For a single penny. Imagine holding that in your hand. It's incredible to think that something as small and unassuming as a 1974 1-cent coin could be worth such a fortune. If you're lucky enough to come across a rare version of this coin, you could be sitting on a small treasure trove of wealth. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare and valuable coins? The key is to inspect the coin carefully. Look at the date and check for any signs of a doubled die. If the date or the lettering seems blurry or doubled, that's a major indicator that you might have a valuable error coin on your hands. Also, pay attention to the size of the numbers in the date. If you notice that the digits are smaller, you could have the small date variety. Finally, make sure to check the overall condition of the coin. The better its condition, the higher its value. In conclusion, the 1974 1-cent coin is far from ordinary. Its rich history, coupled with the potential for rare errors and variations, makes it a highly coveted coin among collectors. Whether you have a basic penny or a rare, error-filled version, there's no denying the allure of this tiny yet valuable piece of American history. So, the next time you come across a 1974 penny in your pocket change, make sure to give it a second glance. It could be worth much more than you think. Top 2 today, we're diving into a coin that you may have never thought twice about, the 1979 United States quarter dollar. You might have one in your pocket right now, but believe me, you'll want to listen closely because this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth an incredible fortune. At first glance, the 1979 quarter might appear to be just another typical piece of U.S. currency, circulating among millions of others. After all, it's just a quarter, right? But here's the twist, there's something about this particular coin that could make it incredibly valuable. That's right, what you might dismiss as a regular quarter could be hiding a treasure worth thousands of dollars. Let's start by talking about the minting history of the 1979 quarter. The coin was issued during a time when the U.S. was coming out of the turbulent 1970s, a decade marked by inflation, economic struggles, and social change. As a result, the U.S. Mint was focused on producing coins that would carry the country's economic stability forward into the next decade. The 1979 quarter was part of that effort, but with the vast quantity that was produced, the coin quickly became common and circulated widely. But here's where the story gets interesting. Over time, some of these coins began to reveal rare and significant errors in their minting process that make them highly valuable to collectors. Coin collectors are always looking for unique pieces, coins that stand out from the rest, and the 1979 quarter is one of those coins that has captured the attention of the numismatic community because of its specific imperfections. One of the most sought-after features of the 1979 quarter is what's known as a double die error. This is a minting flaw that happens when the coin is struck multiple times by the die, causing the image to appear slightly doubled. The most common area for this error is in the numbers on the coin, especially the date. If you look closely at a 1979 quarter and notice any faint duplication of the digits and the date, you may have stumbled upon a rare double die specimen. Collectors are particularly fond of these coins because they're unique and can't be found in every batch, making them a truly one-of-a-kind treasure. Another error that can increase the value of a 1979 quarter is a misaligned die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin isn't properly aligned, causing the coin's design to appear off-center or lopsided. This error is even more dramatic in some cases, where the image or lettering is almost completely misaligned. For coin collectors, a misaligned die error isn't just a mistake, it's a piece of history. It's the kind of error that makes a coin stand out, and that uniqueness is exactly what collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. And let's not forget about the overall condition of the coin. A 1979 quarter that has been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition is far more valuable than one that's been spent or heavily worn. The value of a coin increases dramatically if it's well preserved, as it shows the level of care and attention given to its storage. A coin that has maintained its sharp details and original luster is highly coveted by collectors, and that's where the real value starts to show. So, how much can a 1979 quarter really be worth? If you happen to have a 1979 quarter with one of these minting errors, especially in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, you could be holding on to a small fortune. While most 1979 quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents, those with significant errors or in exceptional condition can fetch a price far beyond that. The real kicker here is this: a 1979 quarter, in flawless condition or with a rare minting error like a double die or misaligned die, could be worth as much as $73,000. That's right, $73,000 for a single coin. This is why collectors around the world are on the lookout for 1979 quarters with these specific errors. They know that a seemingly common coin could turn into a goldmine. If you have one of these quarters, you could be sitting on a rare, valuable piece of U.S. history. But don't just take our word for it. If you think you've got a rare 1979 quarter, it's always a good idea to get it professionally evaluated. A certified coin grader can help determine the exact value based on the coin's condition and any potential errors it might have. And remember, the world of coin collecting is constantly evolving, with new discoveries being made all the time, so who knows, your quarter could be worth even more than you think. So, if you've got a stash of old coins lying around, or you happen to come across a 1979 quarter, take a second look. You might just have a rare treasure in your hands that could fetch you a lot more than just 25 cents.